Hey everyone, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Cheryl.
And this
is your behavior tip of the week.
Our tip this week is going to focus on the ABCs of behavior. So what does that mean?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Let's find out. First of all, it's really important to understand that all behavior occurs within a chain. So think of it like a chain linked together. The A is the antecedent. This is what occurs right before a behavior. And remember, a behavior can be positive or negative or like neutral, something that we don't think of as positive or negative. And something always happens before any behavior that we do. Now, the key here is that this can be what we call public, meaning we can see the antecedent, or private, meaning we cannot see it, like I feel thirsty, or I think this is boring.
Yeah,
something like that. So sometimes people will say to me, like, I don't know, there is no antecedent. So I'm here to dispel that rumor for you guys. There's always an antecedent. It's just sometimes we can't always see it. Okay.
Got it.
So sometimes antecedents that we see would be like teacher presents a worksheet or a task demand, or somebody asks somebody a question. Those are antecedents that are easy to see. And then there's others that are not as easy to see that I kind of already mentioned.
I'm hot.
Like you're hot. Yes, exactly. Perfect example. Okay. So the antecedent comes when?
Before the behavior.
Right before the behavior. Then that's attached to the behavior. So it's anything a person does. It's positive behaviors, it's negative behaviors, it's neutral behaviors. We're going to go over some examples in a minute. And then those are connected to the consequence. Now, in behavior terms, consequence does not mean something bad that happens after a behavior. It's just whatever happens immediately after that behavior.
Right after the behavior.
Right after the behavior. Not later on in the day, but right after the behavior. It's basically how other people or the environment respond to the behavior.
So like kids laughing?
Yes. Or a teacher telling someone to stop.
Or being sent out of the room.
Or
right after the behavior, not like 5 minutes later.
Being given a praise statement or a high five or a compliment could also be a consequence. All right. So let's look at some examples.
All right. So our first example, a good everyday example, we all have them. Oh my goodness. The cell phone rings. That's a public event, right? Because we can either hear it or we can feel it. Okay. So we're just going to go down that one. My behavior is I answer the phone, and the consequence is the person hopefully responds on the other end, right? Hopefully it's not AI or something.
Yes.
Okay. The other example. Oh, this one's a private event. My stomach growls because I'm hungry. Ooh, hungry feelings.
I'm hungry now. Can you tell?
No, I cannot. But oh my gosh, maybe we'll get you some lunch in a few minutes. Okay. My behavior is I get up, I get a snack, and my consequence is my hunger dissipates, which will feel good, especially a taco. I think I saw a taco. Okay. Another antecedent or another example. Antecedent, the teacher asks a question. The behavior is the student raises their hand, and the consequence, what a positive chain, the teacher calls on the student. Loves that. Oh, I don't think this one's going to be as good. Look at that picture. Antecedent, the teacher hands out a worksheet. The behavior, the student tears up the work, and there it is. The teacher sends the student to the office. So that happened right after the student tore up the work. So that would be the consequence in our ABC chain.
So why is this important to understand?
So important.
When we are looking at behaviors that are happening in the classroom, potentially problem behaviors that are happening in the classroom. If we can start to understand the patterns of the antecedents or what's happening right before that problem behavior and how we typically respond to it or the consequences, when we can start to see patterns there, then it kind of helps us know what to do to help improve that behavior.
You're right, Lisa. It would give us some good ideas.
Yeah. So if I know that typically when work is produced, this problem behavior is going to happen, then maybe I can put some proactive strategies in place to help prevent that. So as I'm handing out the worksheet, I remind the student they could ask for a break or ask for help versus like the work just lands in front of them. Or I might give a prior warning before a transition if I know that that typically causes a behavior to occur. And I can also change how we respond to it or the consequence.
Right.
So maybe instead of sending the student to the office, because I know that's going to kind of keep that behavior going, it's reinforcing it, maybe I can come up with a different thing to do if the student tears up their work. So if you're noticing problem behavior in the classroom, take a quick minute, put an A, a B, and a C on a piece of paper and just jot down when you notice the problem behavior happening. what's happening before and after. And actually, a really good idea would be to have somebody come in your classroom and just observe that, because sometimes it's hard if we're a part of the A or the C.
Absolutely, because we might not see it.
Yeah.
And it's harder to put on our behavior detective hats.
I think that this is one thing you can like do as an initial step when you're seeing problem behaviors in the classroom, because we do have to get an understanding of the things that are surrounding the behavior in order to support it in the best way.
I think those are great ideas.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us and have a great week.